What does it take to open up a liquor store, to get a license, to lock down a building? How do you get through the state process? How much do they make? And how in the world I did this for no money? So a liquor store, that's what we're going to be talking about today, right now. About 8 months ago, I started the process of wanting to open up a liquor store in the state of Ohio. And what's crazy is in the state of Ohio, the application process to get a liquor license is free. You don't have to spend any money to submit your documents and apply. That's very unusual because if you want to become a casino, you have to spend a ton of money on an application fee and lawyers. If you want to become a dispensary, you have to spend a ton of money with lawyers and applications. I think in the state of Ohio, it's about $50,000 to $70,000 just to submit the documents to the state to say, hey, we'd like to become a dispensary. With the state liquor agencies, you don't have to submit anything. It's just a ton of paperwork. So for all these entrepreneurs out there that go, oh my gosh, you need a lot of money to get involved. No, you don't. You have to look around and you got to find a good deal. And in this example with the state liquor agencies, you could apply and be granted one for free. So how do you make money in the liquor business? First of all the liquor is on consignment, which means you do not pay a dime to hold the liquor. You don't even have to buy the liquor. The state will drop it off. You sign a paper. Now you're liable for it. So if someone steals it, it's on you, but you don't have to pay for the inventory. If you sell wholesale, which means you want to sell to a bar and restaurant or a business, you get 4% commission in the state of Ohio. If you sell retail, so someone just walks in and buys a bottle of Tito's and then leaves, you get 6% on that. And what is amazing is you can do what's called a freedom of information request, and you can request all of this information. So I found the competitors in the area. I found 3 liquor stores that already existed. And I sent the state of Ohio an email and I said, hey, give me a list of how much money they make a year on the retail and the wholesale side and who they are providing liquor to. And what's amazing is what you get back. You just get this email that goes, hey, Matt, this liquor store, they're doing business with Topgolf. They're doing business with AMC movie theaters. They're doing business with Bravos. They're forced to buy all of their liquor from there. And then furthermore, you get an agency commission report. Here's a list of all the payments on a monthly basis. You can see that this person received a commission check of $14,000 that month, $11,000 that month. Actually, those are bi-weekly payouts, so they're making about $23,000 to $40,000 a month on a state liquor agency. These are commission checks that the state issues you. And keep in mind, that does not include the beer and the wine and the soda pops and the cups and the chips and the Ohio lottery and the tobacco and cigarettes. This is just commission checks for liquor. It's absolutely an incredible business. So how do you get the liquor store? Number one, you got to make sure the state needs it. You got to find a location within the request for proposal, the RFP. You got to find a building, get your finances in line, tons of paperwork, processes, background checks, business plans. If you're good enough where you meet that stage, you'll then go through an interview with the state. They'll see who you are as a person, as a future operator. Do you have a clean background check? That's another thing. Are you a good and decent person that knows how to do business? And then finally, if they decide that you're the person, they will grant you a state liquor agency. That means that you are now allowed to sell the state's liquor at a commission for 6% on the retail side and 4% on the wholesale side. That's just in the state of Ohio. And you are a part of the legal monopoly of controlling liquor and distributing liquor. So how much money do you make with the liquor store? We got the numbers right here. First year, some of them are 1.8 million, 2 million. 3 years out, 4 years out, they're making 4.5 million, 3.8 million. So it's a good business, and they have growth, anywhere between 5 to 10% growth a year. COVID was great because everyone was buying alcohol and not going out. They were drinking in their house. But what's nice is we had to submit a 1-year pro forma, what we thought we were going to do. So how much does it take to open up a liquor store? We predicted liquor wholesale sales So that's selling to businesses at $2.5 million. Liquor retail sales, so someone walking in and buying a bottle of Tito's, $1.2 million. Beer seltzer sales, $350,000. Wine sales, $500,000. Lottery sales, $30,000. Delivery charges, $40,000. That's right. You can charge businesses to drop off the product. It's called delivery fees. We had $40,000. Non-alcoholic retail sales, $200,000. That's chips, soda, cans, other like shot glasses, things like that. Let's talk about expenses for the business. Rent and maintenance, $80,000. Utilities, $6,500. Triple net taxes, $27,000. Marketing, $5,000. Salaries, $100,000. Payroll taxes, $25,000. Accounting and legal, $10,000. Insurance, $10,000. We had the total revenue at $4.8 million. The total expenses at $4.4 plus or minus. EBITDA, that's earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation. That's $334,000. Income tax expense, $116,000. We had a net income of $217,000. So after all the expenses, we had the net income at $217,000. So that was the take home after year one. So a liquor store, is it profitable? We just shared the numbers for you, but you got to work with the state of Ohio, and the state of Ohio has to grant you a license. So let's do a quick recap. I found the building within a 2-mile radius of the location. I took pictures. I got an option on it for free, which means I wasn't paying to hold down the piece of real estate. I had an option on it pending I met certain criteria and got certain awards and licenses. I called someone and said, hey, would you like to back this financially in the event that we get it? You don't need any money down. He's like, absolutely, no problem. We signed some paperwork, and I spent tons and tons of time completing this application. What the state was looking for was details. I had to do a site layout. I had to take pictures. I had to see how I would lay out the store. I had to do projections, what's called a P&L, profit and loss statement, of what I thought would happen. And it was so easy because I could tap into the other liquor stores that already existed and pulled their revenue. And I could even pull it from the first year they were in business and to say, okay, that would be a good starting point and go from there. You had to do a crime report. I had to call the police department and say, hey, is this a safe area? Or are there any traffic jams or accidents or crime reports within the 500-foot building? It was very, very, very tedious. And then I submitted the report. I mailed it in, certified mail, and I submitted it, and I waited. And I waited, and I waited.
2 hours later.
We didn't hear anything. And then finally I got a call 8 months down the road, and they said, Matt, it's between you and another entity. They ended up going with another operator who already owned liquor stores, and they said that was the only thing. You didn't have previous liquor control experience. We went with someone who actually had one, but they did say we had a great location. Honestly, I think our location was killer. It was near a lot of things, and I think we could have done an amazing job. And I know that all the time on YouTube, you hear about side hustles, you hear about businesses. This is a profitable business. This is a COVID-proof business. This is something that people will always purchase, is liquor. And even though the margins are very, very thin, 4%, 6%, you can do well because volume. But at least you know what it takes to start and own and operate a liquor store.